quietly I turn within, attuned with my inner self. I become aware of my goodness within my own being. Goodness is my eternal quality. I am pure deep within. Regardless of my impurities, the light of I, the soul, continues to shine. Just like a diamond will always be a diamond, regardless of the dust or mud that surrounds it. For I, the precious diamond, mirrors the light of the supreme light. God, the Supreme, is my constant companion, a quiet hero who has made me my own hero in winning all my battles. God's heroic act is in making me realize my own greatness, my own hero-ness. God's love has made me great. My greatness lies in the small acts of goodness that shine from my being as I continue to radiate pure and positive thoughts for myself, for others, and for nature. In this sacred space and sacred moment, I allow myself to be absorbed in the love and light of God, my hero. Om Shanti. I am peace.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers in our journey towards the supreme hero. A while back, we were walked through the green, the white, the blue, and the velvet of nature, listening to the peaceful and very calm voice of Sister Lila Aseneta. We saw peace that nature gifts us with. And because we are in the real world, the world of strife and struggle, sometimes we overlook that which is right there at our fingertips. And we try to look for peace somewhere out there, forgetting that peace we can also achieve by grasping and embracing our inner space. And this afternoon, it's a Saturday, we welcome you into our inner space where we have little bits of exchanges, conversation about our experiences, our desires, and our hopes that while we traverse the expanse of the green and the blue and the white and the purple, which is our world, we can take that peace into our hands, press it close to our hearts, and achieve that calm that we long for eventually, because all of us, you and I, we are in the arms of the superhero who loves all of us, little us. This afternoon, we are joined by Sister Ellen Luna, there on a ridge in Tagaytay with her friends over there. I understand they have big winds and rain and some technical problems that accompany the turbulence of nature. Down here in Cebu, oh, we have a lovely, lovely space of not so bright a sky, but still. Sister Cora here says there is impending gloom because we see dark clouds in the distance. But sister, we are also joined by Sister Pet Pet, Rosie Fetan, Miss Bellissima Perez, Sister Russell Velasquez, and on Zoom, Inday Sugar in Barili. So let us start this afternoon session, Sister Cora, by sharing with us your experience with our superhero during the week. Remember, this is part 2 of our conversation on peace, the superhero.
Good afternoon, everyone. Peace. Our discussion this time is Peace, a Heroic Adventure. This is the part 2. Before I will share on my ideas and what transpired during the week, I would like to throw a question. Is there really peace when there is so much poverty and injustice? Miss Tensi?
I'm overwhelmed by your question, Sister Cora, because we cannot run away from the reality that we have right here in Cebu. When we have our houses which are secure, going just outside of our gate, we see poverty at large. Women, men, and children who sleep on the cold pavements of Cebu City, and sidewalks that are not safe, and people who try to make or eke out a living with the sweat of their brow. You know, sometimes I literally see them scratching the walls of the city for simple food, the very basic need. It is so discouraging, but I believe we should not lose hope, because eventually, if we strive and work hard enough, we might just be able to reach that proverbial aim of wanting to have what is necessary, and acquiring it, we can share with those who are not fortunate enough to have what we are able to harvest from our strivings. Okay, so your question, is there real peace in the face of injustice and poverty? We can only strive for it, sister.
True. It's just like we dream about it, and maybe we will participate in, like, we can help alleviate poverty, or we can just stay at the corner and look at what the world, what is going on. I remember last time that was with Sister Denise. Our discussion was like, shall we just sit on and or participate? We are all participants in this world. So in relation to that, like my question of is there peace when there is so much injustice and poverty? Maybe our participation is helping, like, alleviate the suffering and pain. Alleviate, like helping. What can we do? Helping give them food or something.
There are many ways of helping,
Yeah.
Sister Cora. But really, really, eventually, we have to give. We have to give. Give what? Of ourselves to our fellow human beings who are really in this big strife. And before we proceed, we now welcome Sister Remy Alegarbes, who has joined us from out there. Welcome to Inner Space, Sister Remy. Would you like to say a few words?
Potas pa.
That's good. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, I'm here. It's been a long time absent ko. But anyway, kung sari makuha na ko. Especially sa spiritual nourishment. Spiritual nourishment. I think makahatag ron ako og ay kagaan, kapoy kayo. Kagaan, kalinaw. Amen.
You speak of spiritual nourishment. We all need that, because physical nourishment, that is easily achieved. It can easily be gotten by all of us, but the spiritual side of the struggle, that is very difficult to achieve. But still, we can keep on trying.
True.
What have you been up to this week, Sister Remy? What have you been doing?
Daghan kayo, Ma'am Pence. Daghan kayo. This morning, I attended a basic seminar about the healing of family tree.
Oh,
I and John Ray katong cancer patient akong gidahan dito.
mhm.
Akong gidahan ni Dr. Mandihar and then dito kay para pakuan. So, apil ko dito. Then after lunch, nigawas ko kay maulagin na lain akong lawas para bayad ko sa hypersession para preparation for tomorrow's blood kuan test. And then mo to nanawag ka kay nisur man ko sa kuan kay on ko. So ina na. And the whole week, ma'am, every day di ako diri tabang-tabang.
The whole week actually is living. And on Saturday afternoons, when we come to Inner Space, I look at the little time that we have together as loving,
Yeah.
because we reach out to our friends in outer space, invite them into our inner space, so that together we may look at the grace that has been given us during the week. And in the meantime, we also pray for more grace, because our superhero is ever there, always there to grant us what we need. Not always what we want, but
Yeah,
what we need. Ba, Sister Cora?
Yeah.
Amen.
How much do we need? Oh, plenty. But
between want and need, we really have to we really have to know which we need and which we want. And then it will give us peace of mind. It will give us peace of mind if we know how to, if you aim something that you don't need, but you will be frustrated if you cannot get it. But if you, if you want something that you want, but you cannot get it, you will be frustrated. But for something that you really need, and if you get it, it's more, you will be more happier than being frustrated. So for me, if you know how to determine between the two, if you get it, then you will have peace of mind. Personal peace of mind.
we're getting messages from Sister Inday Sugar in Barili. She's very much with us, and I hope Brother Duncan too. But truly, truly, when we see the poverty around us, it's very heartbreaking all the time. But still, because very often I get near the people who are on the sidewalks, which I pass through when I leave the house, and when I leave the house towards where I am supposed to go during the day, I hear them. They have banter among themselves, and there's plenty of laughter among them. So sometimes I say they are happier than many of the people who have the financial means to go through their struggles in life. But these people who have nothing literally except that which is given them by groups, churches, associations that share food with them. They are content with what they get. They enjoy what they get. Sometimes I say that is not all that they deserve because they are children of a rich God,
Yeah.
a God who has all the wealth in his being. But we wonder why these riches are not available to them. But really, I sometimes, in fact, more often, I see more joy in them. How they enjoy their children, you know, play with their children in the streets, no matter doesn't matter that they are not so clean,
Yeah.
because they don't have access to clean water, but still you can see happiness among them, happiness in their eyes. So I say happiness, joy is beyond money.
So I guess it is also the Filipino resilience.
Yes, the resilience of the Filipino.
Yeah.
I see Sister Inday. Hi there, Sister.
Hello.
Brother Duncan.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome to Inner Space.
Yeah, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Okay, so you can hear us and see us. That's good.
Yes.
Cora, your question before about can there be peace with, what was the wording exactly, when there is so much turmoil and suffering?
When there is too much poverty and is injustice, is there
Right.
peace? Or is there peace when there is so much poverty and injustice?
You know, through the spiritual teachings of the BKs, we've come to understand that every human individual is responsible for their own course in life, for their own actions and their own choices. And that is why there is suffering, because the laws of action have to be balanced out. And if we make mistakes, if we, cause suffering to other people or to ourselves through
Corruption.
incorrect behavior or bad diet or whatever it happens to be, then there at some point it has to be balanced. So that understanding of what otherwise is known as karma is why there is suffering. But also I was thinking when you asked the question, I was thinking, it's about what we define as peace. And peace isn't just the absence of no one shooting a gun or no one being at war. It's really about our inner being and being in touch with our inner being. And the meditation that we practice teaches us that our original state is peace. So it's about getting back in touch with that. That's what I wanted to add to that.
Thank you, Brother Duncan. You just told us that we have a great responsibility towards ourselves, attaining that peace that is, that seems so ephemeral and so unreachable. But then you brought up the idea of self-responsibility. So literally you said, we make our own world, don't we?
Our own choices, yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, we are also part of a bigger one, the society.
Sure. So we have a social responsibility then.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
but if we try to fix problems with an old system that is not peaceful or is not at peace, then we won't really achieve the success that we desire. So it's about being able to approach the problems by ourselves being in touch with our inner peace. And, that's why it's an everyday thing, you have to wake up in the morning and remind yourself that if you're not feeling good, it's something that's passing. It's not you at your core, in your deep inner self. That's my approach.
Actually, that has been a struggle for me, Brother Duncan, and everyone, because there's so much to do. Society, the groups we work with, the people we live with, they pose a lot of requirements of us. But I believe, this is what I learned from Inner Space. I believe that upon waking up, we have to stop and start trying to connect with that with the supreme light, the supreme being who has put us where we are. And then we make a decision to connect with him in our own way, in our own words. And truly, we have to do a lot of silencing ourselves, and that trying to connect with him is a struggle that we must all go through at the beginning of each day if we want that peace to rule over us the whole day until we close our eyes in sleep.
I just wanna connect because our theme is peace, a heroic adventure. So it's not just for ourselves, for me, but it is our involvement as a member of the society, because heroic, it's an adventure. You have to give yourself, share yourself to help, like alleviate poverty or whatever. That's for me a heroic adventure.
It is a heroic adventure, because no matter what we give, we will not be able to satisfy everyone.
Like inner space, being in inner space is a way of a heroic adventure, because we are our souls and our spirits are being handled like with meditation. Like before I joined inner space, I don't meditate, I don't study. I don't study. Do we study Bibles or something? Read the Bible. But with inner space, it's a heroic adventure in the sense that my soul was being treated like I am more. I took care of my spirit now more than before I entered inner space, to be honest. Because before, it's not like I don't care about my spirit. I do, of course. I don't care about my soul. Of course I do. But inner space has brought me into a more spiritual being. So being in inner space, it's a heroic adventure for me.
I understand you, Sister Cora. Actually, the mere fact that we have to stop, go into the inner space and take stock of the relationship that we must have with the Supreme Light, no? And to bathe ourselves in that light the whole day, so that while we enjoy the gifts of His presence and we venture into connecting ourselves with Him,
Yeah.
we are awakened into a realization of what is around us. We don't just look at ourselves because necessarily we belong to a community of souls. So being conscious of that, many times during the day, we have to remind ourselves to go back to, that relationship with Him through the others around us. That's what you call the community.
Community.
Yes. We are awakened, and actually we plunge into a consciousness of that which is happening. We don't just float.
Yeah.
We don't just float. We are made aware of what we are supposed to be and what we are supposed to do. And that consciousness, which we learned to take stock of when we joined Inner Space, that has made a lot of difference in our lives, in my life at least.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say that is that's the symbiotic
Relationship.
the synastry that takes place when we can be we're always going to be reminded and tested wherever we are and whoever we're in contact with
True.
to stay connected to our truth, and if we're feeling good, that will have a contagious effect, hopefully, if the situation is not too stressful or too difficult.
This
No.
is
And
this is the
yeah.
That's the kind of contagion we want, Brother
Yeah.
Duncan.
Yeah, the contagious aspect of it. That's right.
And that consciousness also, that awareness of our being connected with the rest of the world, brings us to a perspective which is both, elevating and also putting us in our place as human beings. We belong to a community, and we should not ever forget that we have a responsibility to that community, but first realizing what we would be capable of while being conscious of that, that connection with everyone around us. And we cannot help but be involved in our life as a nation, the political part of our existence. We all have a responsibility to be aware of what is going on in government. People who work in that government, we have to be conscious of our relationship with them. And that relationship is sometimes very difficult to maintain because we. Yes, brother.
Well, I just I saw something on the internet yesterday, just a very short clip. I'm not sure if I can remember who the individual was, but they were talking about a system, and they were commenting on how often African countries are told they should just govern themselves properly, and yet really that's a statement that belies the truth of the matter of how they've actually been forced, those countries have been forced into difficult situations where they've been robbed and run by dictatorships at the behest of more powerful nations. And he basically finished off by saying, yes, we have a system, but the system needs to change. It needs to be a different system. And comes back to that thing about, we see poverty, we see hardship, and it's also about realizing that a lot of it's caused by by structures and systems that are no longer should be tolerated because they're systems and methods that are not sustainable and not equitable. And, you know, that's my political approach, if you like. It's, you know, we do actually need to change a lot of the systems so that they are more equitable, more beneficial, and then we can really start to change how people in society, as a society, you know, benefit more.
Brother, along that line, I have been questioning. I really didn't ask the question orally. I asked myself, why is it that some people, some of us want more space than we can occupy? Why?
In simple truth,
Mhm.
a sense of lack in themselves, a false identification about what is, you know, what will make one content.
Right. You know, finally, eventually, we only need what our height and our width.
That's all we need.
That's all we need. But why is it that countries think, some countries think they need more space, more territory than they can actually occupy? And in the course of their satisfying that want, that desire, they displace other people who were there ahead of them, and were living the simple way, not the sophisticated systems that these occupying and these conquering people want to impose on others. Why can't we allow others to live simply? You know? And my encounters with our brothers and sisters in Mindanao showed me that many of our indigenous peoples are more respectful of providence and nature than many of us are here in the so-called civilized society that we have built for ourselves. Because I saw our indigenous brothers and sisters who do not pick all the papayas in a tree. They only get the ones they can consume for the moment. And some of them say, some people might pass by and may want some of this fruit, so let's leave some for them. You know, those very simple acts, I think, are great. And if we go by their line of thinking, I don't think there will be conquest. We will all be content with what has been given to us originally by the Supreme Lord.
I guess it's more of a political system and order. It needs more studies. Like, I don't know if you have read something about imperialism. So I guess that's the bottom line.
We grappled with
why they go conquer other countries, so that because they are already in the surplus.
It's our belief systems.
It's a very big discussion.
Well, I mean, in simple terms, we can say it's the difference between acting from negativity and negative conditioning, or the difference like your indigenous folk in Mindanao operating from a position of virtue and sharing. So in very simple terms, that's what belies all those decisions.
Yeah.
And a sense of power that people exercise power over others through physical means, you know. So and you know, the study of our meditation and the knowledge is about moving away from that. It's about realizing that our true nature and the way we connect with each other and the world doesn't have to be based on the physical dimension, in the sense of how the world operates.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very big challenge, Brother Duncan.
It is.
Because
Leave it up to God. Really.
we all have to dive into our inner space and
Yeah.
look at us as we should be, as we are. Not wanting to have more than we need. And if, because we are fortunate, we are able to get more, we should be willing to share. And I think our exercises in inner space take us there. And we have to be more aware of this every single day. And our children, we have to awaken them into this consciousness of being content, aspiring only for what is needed, not the opulence that would impoverish others. Sister Remy is thinking very deeply beside me here.
Our theme for today is about peace in
Yes.
heroic journey,
Heroic adventure.
adventure. Okay, in my case, as I listening to your views and your explanation, I think I am on the right track, because after I retired, murag mas na busy ko ron during the time when I was working as a librarian, because there are a lot of people asking my assistance, my physical assistance, presence, and maybe unsolicited, sometimes unsolicited opinion, unsolicited advice, which is, I think they also cannot be meditating on it. And every day, many times of these months, I went to doctors, I brought patients, especially in mga cancer patients. Service, not only in my own capacity, my own ability, but the time.
Yeah.
And considering I'm living in Minglanilla, and considering the distance, and you know already the
Traffic.
increase, not only the traffic, the increase of the fare, the bus transportation. And God give me the strength to go on, to continue. Leaving my husband alone in the house, sometimes I feel cannot bitang nakonsensya ko, ma'am.
Guilty.
Na guilty ko.
How lucky you are,
Because-
Brother Duncan.
Nakonsensya ko because he is alone in the house doing all the household chores, the carpentry, the masonry, everything. And last July, last month, nasamad iyang dinhi sa
Mhm.
kutsilyo. And until now, wala pa maayo. So
Oh.
na-guilty ko the more. And ko, nga naman in town na, ako ka na doktor. I was thinking, ma'am, I'm bringing other people to the doctor, and then
Here's your own husband.
oh, wala ko makatanaw nga wa mo hubag ihang tudlo. Ko inuunsa na-infected na kay manglaba man siya every day.
You overlooked.
Oo, nanglaba siya every day. So nahulong dito.
Do
Kanya,
you wash clothes too, Duncan?
He do everything.
all around a master of none. So,
Yeah. Most
So,
of the time, Ingo says, Give me that. I'll do it much faster.
Pero anyway, with his approval, that's why I'm doing this, with his approval. And kana bitang support. Support. Okay, go. Something like that. And that's why I'm feel so at peace when I heard you sharing about the journey, the heroic journey with peace of mind and heart. I'm also doing it. Even if kapoy jud, so tired, especially magbarug lang yun ko ma, in going here, standing ba? The whole-
Sa bus.
Sometimes there are mga yang kuanay, uy, senior citizen, palingkura. So, manatagaan kog chair, pero naa-adji uban.
Fulfilling man kayo.
Oo. So, this is my pre-departure investment. Pre-departure investment. I also bring this patient to MLCC for their confession. I believe na ang atong sakit, our sickness, it's because of our sins, especially kanang mga sins of bitaw nga mga resentment, mga anger, something like that. So, I brought them to the priest for confession and be able to heal them from spiritual, then gradually down to physical by God's grace. So, salamat nga, I am on the right track. Thank you, Lord.
So you see, it's a
Even if
journey.
I have a guilt feeling about Jess, my husband, anyway, with his approval, okay, continue doing it. And support. Salamat sa Ginoo nga nakabana kog supportive
That's your
husband.
that's your adventure. So nakabana og supportive husband. Oh my.
Kugihan.
Mhm.
Hardworking.
Pareho sila ni Brother Duncan because Sister Inday just said he does everything. Oh, how fortunate can you be, Sister Inday? And that is your adventure, you know?
Yeah, he's a hero.
No. You had a question for Inday, did you not?
No, I don't know if you have question.
Yeah. You wanted Inday to talk about something? There was a brief.
Your own adventure into partnership with Brother Duncan, who does everything.
Well, I don't do everything.
You're not alone, Brad.
That way, that is how you achieve peace between the two of you in your home.
Yeah, we have to take care. We have to take care of our dogs, and the oldest here in my parents, they are all 89 and 87. So we have to take care of them.
Mhm. Yes, we all have to take care of our parents.
I mean,
Yes.
they're still very independent, but we make sure on a daily basis they have enough food, and
We have,
Inday often cooks for
yeah,
them.
they have firewoods.
And that they are
sort out the
safe.
electricity bill and the water
And that they are safe.
Yes.
Very big concern.
So, may questions in that from
We have 5 minutes more. And these 5 minutes we want to spend
meditation?
in meditation. So we now go into inner space, the space in our beings, and we connect with our superhero, the super light. I am Filipino, a minor participant in the struggle for freedom from that dictatorship that sent our nation down to its knees before the world. I experienced the times when we were awakened by the sound of heavy equipment bearing artillery. I was in buses stopped by the military, who ordered all male passengers to get off and be searched. In some of those bus inspections, some male passengers were made to remain, ordering the drivers to leave. Those incidents had women, mothers, wives, daughters, fiancés weeping because of the uncertainty they were made to experience. Ours was an atmosphere of fear then, and the news of many disappearances and deaths was overwhelming. I did my part, and so did my husband and our friends. When finally we were liberated from the villains, we all felt victorious. It was then that I found the space and the time to look back. During all those days when fear ruled over everyone, I was actually in a state of peace which I kept to myself. That was a secret which I thought I was entitled to. I did my part in the struggle. When people needed data, I gave what I could impart. When they needed company, I shared my time with them. I gave whatever I could, materially, financially. What I treasure most was the fact that many times I would sit with a friend who needed silence while in the company of another human being. Loquacious me had to keep silent for once. In retrospect, I know why I could claim that peace. Because deep in me was the confidence that I was safe, because I was in constant conversation with the one and only being that could give me the protection that I needed then. He had me in his arms all those dangerous times, and I, safe in his love, felt warm in his embrace. I was confident in the truth that enveloped me all the time, that he would not allow me to experience anything that would not contribute to my well-being, that he would never let any harm that would leave me by the wayside, that he would not allow anything to happen to me beyond what I could countenance. I felt all these. I was much younger then, less competent, but truly, deeply confident that I was with the light, with my God, my superhero. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us, Sister Inday Sugar and Brother Duncan, all the way from Bareilly. Thank you. And our friends in outer space. Sometimes I see friends from Russia joining us, from even Liechtenstein once. All of you out there, Sister Ellen, Sister Russell, thank you very much for having been with us this afternoon. We thank Lady D for her assistance, sharing her expertise with us. Thank you very much, and good afternoon. Have a pleasant week ahead of you. We look forward to being with you again on Saturday. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Sister Bellissima Perez, Russell Velasquez, all of you, thank you.
Well, there you go.
Our appreciation.